So I gotta say, guys, there's been a lot of celebrations going on lately in the get woke go broke sector of the internet that we like to call entertainment, and there is even more coming out that honestly people are just like super excited to see. I honestly I was looking at the article that we're about to go over, and I'm thinking to myself, literally telling myself. They had this coming. I just don't understand why this would be a shocker to literally anybody that understands the entertainment space and how it's going on right now. Obviously, if you are a Marvel fanboy and you don't want to see the truth about what's going on with Marvel or Disney, then maybe this might have taken you by surprise. But anybody in our space really shouldn't be surprised. So now we have an article coming out, and it says Marvel Studios further delays Disney Plus content and apparently pushes back all of their upcoming releases to unspecified dates. So yes, in one of the biggest get woke go broke situations that we've experienced lately, now apparently Marvel Studios is admitting that they're struggling because they are pushing back all of their Disney Plus content, all of it. Every single TV show, every single season, everything. Everything is being pushed back or canceled because they just cannot do it anymore. Their money is starting to run dry. They are realizing that their identity politics that they wanted to play with for an entirety of phase 4 is starting to cost them so much money to the point where yes, even though they made money on Black Panther, right? Even though they made money on Spider-Man No Way Home, even though that was a Sony film and they probably took the majority of it, even though those two films made money, ultimately at the end of the day, these movies are not making enough money to get by. Once you factor in what they actually take home, it is not a pretty look. What a lot of people are doing is that they're looking at what the movie's making and just looking at the budget, and they're not accounting for marketing, and they're also not accounting for the fact that they don't get 100% of the dollar that comes in from the movie theater. They get about half of that. So if it makes $400 million in the movie theaters, guess how much they take home? 200 million. And then if they have a budget of 200 million with marketing that's not even factored in, now you're at 350, 400 million and you're only taking home 200 million, you got a problem, okay? And that's why they love to talk about the numbers, the gross profits. They don't want to talk about net, because if they talk about net, they wouldn't have to be doing this stuff. If they were making a lot of money net, this stuff would not be happening. All these cancellations, all these delays, none of this stuff would be happening. So let's get into this article. It comes to us from Bounding Into Comics, and it says Marvel Studios further delays Disney Plus content, pushes back all upcoming releases to unspecified dates. It says, in what appears to be yet further confirmation that the Marvel Cinematic Universe is currently both directionless and in shambles, a recent update to the official Disney Plus website appears to indicate that Marvel is further delaying all of its streaming exclusive content. As per edits made by the House of Mouse on March 15th, where once the streaming service listed official tentative release windows for all of its upcoming Marvel series, Agatha, Coven of Chaos, Daredevil Born Again, Echo, Ironheart, Loki Season 2, Secret Invasion, Spider-Man Freshman Year, What If, Season 2, and X-Men 97, it now asserts that each project is simply coming soon. And that is a major, major blow to their ego. You got to imagine Marvel is not the one to admit when they're wrong. I mean, hell, Disney is not the one to admit when they're wrong. So the fact that they are now listing everything as coming soon is them essentially not wanting to admit that some of this stuff is probably not going to make the final cut. We see Echo and Ironheart already confirmed delayed indefinitely. We heard that recently in an article prior. They're not coming out with this show anytime soon. It's been delayed indefinitely, and they're not even talking about it at this point. And now apparently everything has been labeled as coming soon instead of having a time frame of when it's actually going to come out. Now, when you look at this whole lineup, you got to imagine to yourself, what do people really want to see ultimately at the end of the day? If you are a Marvel fan, what do you really want to see? Agatha, Coven of Chaos? Okay, maybe that sounds cool. Daredevil Born Again? I would have loved to see it if they didn't cuck him in She-Hulk. Echo and Ironheart? Nobody asked for Echo. I don't even know why Echo is getting her own damn show when nobody asked for that character. So I don't know why that's even a thing. Ironheart, nobody cares. Loki Season 2, okay, maybe that's a good one. And people would have want to see it. Secret Invasion, I don't know. That's a toss-up. Spider-Man Freshman Year will probably get a lot of views. That I admit. What If series, up in the air for Season 2. And X-Men 97, with the way that they're talking, I highly doubt it's going to be any good because apparently they modeled it completely after a gay man's experience. So I don't really know how that correlates. So it says, most notably among these delays are the second seasons of Loki and What If, as not only were they both previously on track to release in 2023 of summer and early 2023 respectively, but they have also already seen significant marketing, with the former having had its upcoming season teased in the post-credits scene to Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, and the latter having unveiled a new original character, Kahori, earlier this month. This shakeup comes just a little over 2 months after Marvel boss Kevin Feige revealed to Entertainment Weekly that in light of Disney announcing that they would be seeking to cut roughly $3 billion from their budget. Jesus Christ, that is a lot of money. $3 billion just in budget costs. Well, I don't even know where they're going to find that money. Where are you going to find it? That is so much money to cut. That is a major, major loss. Now, you got to imagine, if they're trying to cut $3 billion from their budget, that means that that's probably what they were losing on average throughout the entirety of Phase 4. If they're trying to recoup that much money from cutting costs, then what is it going to take for them to be profitable? It's just crazy. It's crazy money. And we've been saying it over and over and over again, and people just don't want to hear it if they're Marvel fans. But at the end of the day, I was a Marvel fan too, and you have to learn to admit to yourself that they were burning money. Marvel and Disney were burning money, and that is a big problem that's only going to last so long, and it's not the fault of the viewer. You're not giving the fans what they want. You can try to blame superhero fatigue all you want, but video games like Dark Souls or IPs like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! Laugh in your face because they literally give their fans the same thing over and over and over again with a brand new skin on it, and people eat it up. They spend so much money nonstop because it's fantastic. Everybody loves the product, and they're giving the fans what they want. Marvel, on the other hand, is not giving the fans what they want anymore. Marvel was giving them what they wanted in the first 3 phases, and once Phase 4 hit and Endgame finished, all of a sudden, identity politics took over, and they started giving what they thought the fans should have versus what the fans actually wanted to have. So you guys can see here in this picture the comparison where it initially said Loki Season 2 streaming summer 2023 on Disney+. Now it says coming soon. Same thing for Secret Invasion, spring 2023, now says coming soon. And the same thing for What If, streaming early 2023, now says coming soon. That is it's hilarious, man. That is a big hit. And the funny thing is, people don't think like the internet is forever, right? Like the internet, people are gonna know and remember shit when you post it on the internet. And the fact that they thought they could really get away with this and changing this as if nobody was gonna notice is hilarious. It says, asked if the studio would seek to achieve this goal by spacing out their shows or putting out fewer per year, he responded, both, I think. I think when we are doing about 8 projects a year, and again, I said this is going to shift a little bit, they all have to be different, he added. They all have to stand apart and stand alone and be different from one another. Well, that's another problem too. Marvel has been so formulaic that every single Marvel movie just feels like the same exact thing. Even though you may have different characters and heroes, it still feels like the same thing at the end of the day, and that's why a lot of people are just bored of it. According to the alleged company insiders who spoke to The Hollywood Reporter in service of this goal, Marvel had chosen to push back most of its planned 2023 releases, Agatha, Coven of Chaos, Echo, Ironheart, in favor of giving Loki and Secret Invasion their respective times in the spotlight. However, whether or not this new line-wide delay has anything to do with Feige's quality over quantity vision of the MCU's Disney Plus future remains to be seen. As of writing, neither Marvel nor Disney have publicly commented on their updated listings. So ultimately, at the end of the day, Disney, unfortunately, is going to have to admit, even though they may not want to, they're going to have to admit that they are getting woke and going broke. Their money is getting very tight, and even Disney has a limit. In all the money that they have, and honestly, it's their theme parks that are keeping them alive. If you guys look at their analytics and if you look at their revenue, all of their revenue, or most of it, comes from the actual theme parks itself, and they are literally losing money all the time. The theme parks are the only thing that are profitable for them. Everything else is an adventure in money loss. So as an anti-fan of Disney, or at least the modern day Disney, and the fan of the original Disney, I love to see what is going on with Disney. I love to see what is going on with Marvel. And as they continue to push more identity politics, I cannot wait to see the continued decline of their product till eventually they go broke. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy, and if you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.